Hi guys, welcome back to the Tearing It Up podcast. Welcome back. I'm excited to chat with you guys today because almost 2 weeks ago now, it was my birthday. I'm a Libra and I turned 26 on October 12th. So in this episode, we're going to tear up some things that I learned at 25 and honestly some things that I just learned in general in my 20s, but I tried to pick one specifically that I learned at 25. Hold on, let me open my little energy drink. I'm drinking a Georgie Sparkling Watermelon Splash. Not sponsored. It tastes so good though. It's green tea caffeine. So I think this isn't supposed to be like horrible for you, but let's see, does it have sucralose in it? I don't think so, so that's a slay. Before we get into the things that I learned, let's just do a quick birthday recap. So Rafa surprised me with a little trip to Mexico City. I love Mexico City. We've been there twice together. We have some of our most favorite memories there. I just love walking around, exploring the city, eating in the city. Something about the vibe I just love. I don't know, when I wake up there in the morning, I just I feel so good. I feel so happy. It's so beautiful and I just feel like there's so much to do. Truly magical. I don't know how to explain it. So if you haven't been, highly recommend that you should go. I feel like I have really good recs after being there 3 times. So if you ever need Mexico City recs, go watch my vlogs of it or DM me and I can send you them. But we had the best time. It was a surprise, but I kind of figured out that we were going right before we left. I was like, okay, wait, I think I know where we're going because I did put 2 and 2 together. But we flew out of San Antonio. Big hack if you're ever going to Mexico City from Texas. Flying out of San Antonio is a lot cheaper. So we drove down to San Antonio, we flew out, and we just had a magical little weekend together. Saturday, which was my birthday, he did all my favorite things from past trips we took. We did a whole day of all of those things that I loved last time we went. So I know it's when you travel, you shouldn't do the same things over, but these things that we did on the last trip, I loved so much that it was perfect to do them on my birthday because you don't want to try a bunch of new things and what if you don't have fun? So we just did all the things that we knew would be fun and it was actually just the best time ever. We ate amazing food. We listened to good music. We just spent time together and the next day we saw some family. We got to see Rafa's cousins and we went to a movie at my favorite movie theater, Cinépolis. Literally the Mexican movie theaters are such a slay. They're insane. You can order any food you want. The menu is 80 pages long. You can get sushi and fried rice and it's crazy. So we went to my favorite movie theater. We got esquites. Honestly, one of the most memorable birthdays I've ever had. And then we got back from the trip and my mom came and visited 2 days later and she was here for 5 days. Which was very nice. I love when my mom's here. She's just so amazing to have around. She helps us with the little things around the house. She's been helping me decorate, but after 5 days, it's always okay, I need my space back. So loved having mom here, but I'm kind of in a way happy she's gone now because I was so thrown off of my routine. I wasn't working out. I recently started Wellbutrin. I posted about this on TikTok. I started it a little over a week ago and I'll get into why I started it later, but well, I guess I can kind of tell you. But basically, you guys know I went off stimulants for my ADHD months ago now, and there's been a lot of ups and downs with that. I have some days that are really hard. Some days I'm really glad that I'm off of them, but for the most part, it's been pretty tough for me, and I'm really determined not to get back on stimulants. So when I was talking to my doctor, I was looking into what are some non-stimulant options to help me with my ADHD and my anxiety, because my ADHD is so bad when I'm unmedicated that it leads into me having really bad anxiety and then feeling really bad about myself because it is so much harder for me to focus and get things done. And then that leads into me feeling like shit about myself, which then leads into me being sad and anxious. So it's really great. And she said that I should try Wellbutrin because it can also be used to treat ADHD, anxiety, depression, all those things. And I wasn't opposed to being on medication. I was just opposed to being on stimulants. So I'm you know what, I'll try it. And I started it last week around the time my mom came. And luckily I've had hardly any side effects except one, which is I can't go to the bathroom. Won't get into all the details of that because nobody cares or wants to know, but it's been rough. So while my mom was here, I was in some severe pain. You know when your nose is clogged up and then you think about all the times you took for granted when your nose wasn't clogged up? It kind of felt like that, like, you know what I mean? So if you can shit normally, just be thankful for it every single day. But that's kind of the recap of the last 2 weeks. Mexico City trip, quick weekend trip. My mom was here. She helped me decorate. She helped me get these cute little lamps behind me. If you're watching the video from HomeSense, they're these cute little white marble lamps. I love them so much. And yeah, she's helped me pull the place together. The place is almost completely done aside from some rugs and stuff. And I think we need to mount a few more things to the wall. But my home is finally coming together and I could not be happier about it. I love this place so much. I don't know how I will ever leave someday. It's finally feeling like home. And every single day I get so happy when I come home, which I haven't felt that way about my past 2 apartments. I mean, I liked them, but I wasn't like, I love this place. But I can confidently say I love this place and I love how my visions are coming to life. And anyways, those are kind of my updates. Let's see. What else? I am kind of brave for recording this podcast with a slick back right now because I feel like when you look at yourself in a legit camera with a slick back, it's like very humbling. But I have in a hair mask right now. I have in the little Bondi Boost hair mask and some rosemary oil because this weekend is my best friend Sarah's wedding. So I'm prepping for that with the hair mask. I need a self-tan. I need to, what else? I don't know, do my nails. But my best friend's getting married this weekend. So I'm a bridesmaid for the very first time in my life. And I'm on bridesmaid duty pretty much all day tomorrow and all day Saturday. So I'm mentalizing that, mentally preparing to see one of my best friends walk down the aisle, which I've never seen or experienced that before. So that's going to be crazy. I know I'm going to sob and I'm so excited to experience it with Rafa because neither of us have ever been to a wedding together of someone that we're like really close to. He's also really close to her and we're just so excited. So anyways, I can't wait for that. And I also wanted to say, guys, I know that I've been releasing the podcast recently on more of a bi-weekly basis. Thank you for bearing with me. I think that October in general was really crazy for me. And like I said, I've kind of been struggling with my anxiety and my mental health the last few weeks. And I have not been as consistent with this as I would like to be. And I apologize for that. So just so you know, right now I'm doing bi-weekly. I want to get back into a place where I'm releasing on a weekly basis because I know that's what y'all want. Promise I'm going to get back there. I'm just figuring out my shit. Honestly, I'm not like, I've realized more than ever how much I need to get better at my like time prioritization. And there's times where I'm really good at it, like when this first started, and in certain parts of my life, like I'm so good at it. And then when I fall out of my routine, I fall out of it so hard. And ever since we moved, I've never been like less routine based in my life. I think it's just like adjusting to the move and just the process that it's been, like furnishing this place and getting rid of stuff, and then the travel and the birthdays, and then we had ACL, and it's been so much that I've been so bad at my routine. And I actually went to a workout class today for the first time in literally a month. I have been running and walking, but I haven't been going to workout classes and like actually like lifting weights and doing yoga and making my body feel good, because once I fall out of routine, I fall out of it fucking hard, and it takes so much discipline for me to get back into it. Like I'm either 100% in my routine, like fuck yes, like I'm in it, or I'm so out of it and I can't motivate myself to do jack shit. But as of today, I'm trying to be better. I feel like I've said this so many times, but guys, I'm literally just a girl, okay? I'm just a girl who like, I want to be routine-based so bad, but I have fucking crippling ADHD and I really try. Okay. Anyways, thank you for listening. Let's get into some of the things I learned at 25 and in my 20s in general. I wanted to do 26 things I learned, but I was like, I think that'll take 3 hours of my, like, this will be a 3-hour long episode if I do 26 things. So we have like 10 or 15 things here, okay? And these are going to range from like silly, stupid, little funny things that I learned to more meaningful, deep life lessons that I've learned. And the first one, because I just have been writing these down as they've been coming to me throughout the last year. The first one is press-on manicures, okay? I think I started doing press-on manicures about a year ago, changed my life. I hate going to the nail salon. Not because it's like a bad experience or anything, but like I said, ADHD, nail salons can be very overstimulating. And every time I'm in there, I just like am heightened anxiety. I don't like it. I don't know. I don't mind getting my toes done, but I really don't like getting my fingers done. And ever since I discovered press-on nails, my life has been truly better. And I've saved money. Not to mention, a pack of press-on nails is maybe what, $10, $15? And I have them on right now. These ones are Glamnetic. I also use like Olive and June. I've used Static. I've used Quickies. I have them on right now. I've had these on about a week. They'll probably last me all weekend and maybe even into next week. If one falls off, I'll just pop it back on with some glue. Looks like I just got a French tip manicure. Took me about 10, 15 minutes to put on. And I don't know if I'll ever go back to going to the nail salon unless it's like for travel and I don't want to have to glue my nails back on. Because I will say, they do pop off. Like one will pop off every couple of days, especially if I'm doing like heavy lifting or something heavy around the house. One will pop off, but you just glue it back on. Okay. I love press-on manicures. Something that changed my life at 25. The other thing I learned at 25 is book the fucking flight in advance. Guys, I used to do that. I feel like I used to be pretty good about booking flights a month or 2 months in advance. At 25, I was like waiting up until 3-4 weeks to book the flight. And stupidest shit ever. I've learned my lesson multiple times with this. Like, just learned it with this trip to New York next weekend because Rafa's running the New York Marathon. Oh my God, I also forgot to say that. Rafa runs the New York Marathon next weekend, so we're going to New York. And I guess when this releases, it'll be right before we leave. But we waited, once again, down to the wire to book the flights. And we ended up spending a bunch of money and we're flying Spirit. So like, actually fuck me, because there's nothing more humbling than having to, one, spend a bunch of money and two, have it be on Spirit. So, and that's continuously happened to me. We just had to book flights to Louisiana for Rafa's brother's wedding. We waited and it was so fucking expensive. Book the flight in advance. When you see the price and you're like, maybe it'll go down, it's not going to go down. It always just goes up. I ain't never seen a flight and then I check back a few days and it's gone down. I swear. It always goes up. Book the flight in advance. Okay, number 3 is, this sucks, but at 25, I really realized that what I put in my body just affects me so much more than it used to. And this is like a sad thing I've had to come to terms with. Because I swear at like 21, 22, I could go out, drink half a bottle of peach New Am, down 4 Doritos Locos Tacos and a Crunchwrap Supreme when I got home, and maybe even like a calzone, drink virtually no water that night. And I would wake up the next morning and feel like a little bit bad, but then like I'd be ready to go again at 11. What the fuck? Meanwhile, now I feel like if I have 2 glasses of wine and I wake up the next day and I'm like, fuck me, like I can't work out, I feel like shit. I believe everyone knows that is just a harsh reality of getting older, that like, especially alcohol, but also just like food and processed food. It just sucks because I love processed food. I'm not going to sit here and be like, I never eat processed food. But like, I love a hot Cheeto. I love sour candy and 7-Eleven and gas station snacks. But goddamn, recently, the more I've been eating them, the more I've just been feeling absolutely awful. And now I'm realizing that these health and fitness girlies with the no processed food carnivore diet, they're probably onto something. Because while alcohol has been making me feel significantly worse, so has a lot of the food that I've been consuming. And I have my moments where I eat pretty healthy for sure, but then like I also love to indulge in like a Buc-ee's trip and get some crazy shit from Buc-ee's and like eat some sour worms and some hot Cheetos. But like it affects me so much more than it used to. And that's just the reality I've had to come to terms with. It's like you can't consume the same things that you used to and still like feel good about, like just feel good in general. Because nowadays I'll have like a couple glasses of wine, maybe a little like pasta, pizza at night, and the next day I'm like, ugh! And it's really hard for me to like function. And so I think I sometimes a little too much, I'm like, I deserve this. Like maybe I don't deserve it. You know, maybe I do need to eat some more arugula. Okay. Next is if you don't water the plants, they die. And I mean this in the sense that like I've killed a handful of my plants in the last year. Like I need to be better about watering them. But I also mean this in the sense of relationships. And when you think about your relationships as a plant, and if you don't water them and you aren't a consistent friend and you're not checking in on your friends And it's not just like, oh, hey, what are you doing tonight? But like actually checking in with your friends and being like, how have you been? What's going on? Talk to me. That kind of watering, not just the watering of like, oh, let's go get drinks, like actually checking in with them and seeing how they're doing and like talking to them about their life. How is their work treating them? Is their relationship with their siblings or their parents or their boyfriend? They die. And that's something I've realized in the last year is that there's been times where I feel like I haven't watered the plants enough in some of my relationships. And then I took a step back and was like, oh my God, like this person's been there for me and I haven't been there for them nearly as much as I should have. And it starts, the little plant of our relationship starts withering away and getting wrinkly. And at 26, I want to go into 26 with the mindset of watering the plants, like of my closest friendships more and doing more than just hanging out and being there, but actually being there emotionally for my friends, for my family, for my siblings, because I don't want the plants to die. But if it's a plant that is prickly and is causing me to sneeze, I'll let that plant die and I won't water that one. Okay, the next one is that nice pajamas are worth it. I've recently kind of invested in a couple of pairs of pajamas. Like we're talking like the $100 range, which I know is kind of a lot for a pair of pajamas. I also do know that Target has amazing pajamas and I need to try those because I feel like they probably have dupes for these expensive ones that I've bought and they're probably just as good. But I used to always sleep in a baggy t-shirt and underwear. And this last year I've gotten into pajamas and it has been amazing. I look forward to putting those pajamas on every night. Why was I not sleeping in pajamas for so many years? Like a good, soft, silky pair of pajamas makes my sleeping experience so much better. I'm more comfy. I sleep better. The sensation I get of showering, putting on like skincare and lotion and putting on a pair of pajamas is literally like so close to ecstasy. Like it is fucking phenomenal. So yeah, I went pretty much 25 years not really wearing pajamas except from when I was a kid. And now at 26, I'm addicted to my pajamas and so is Rafa. I bought Rafa for his birthday. He loves Eberjay pajamas so much. He got a pair, I think, gifted to him and he's obsessed with them. He wears them every single night. He even like brings them on trips with us and will wear them for the entirety of the trip. And I'm like, okay, these need to be washed. Like you need to give your Eberjay pajamas a break because he wears them so much. So I got him a second pair for his birthday and these are not cheap pajamas. If you look them up, like they're pricey pajamas for sure, but he loves them so much. I was like, okay. And honestly, I was like getting down to the wire with his birthday gift and I was like, oh my God, like what the fuck do I get him? Because guys, shopping for men is hard and shopping for Rafa is hard because he's so fucking picky. But I got him some Eberjay pajamas. He loves them and he's also addicted to pajamas. So every night we both get in bed in our pajamas and I feel like we're like a middle-aged couple and God, I love it. The next, I think everybody knows this, but this has just applied to my life so much in the last year, especially as social media has become a bigger part of my life. But doom scrolling takes away so much time from your real life. And I think we all know this, but I guess I'm saying this because it's been such a big lesson that I've learned. Because when I, in the last year and a half, and when I really started, I guess, growing and doing social media more and becoming more of an influencer, you could say, I obviously became creating more content, but it also became doom scrolling and consuming a lot more content because now that I was like a content creator, I also wanted to watch so much content. One, because it gave me inspiration. Two, because I just want to know what other people are doing and I'm curious about other people's lives and I'm watching other creators and I'm becoming more like, I'm developing a better understanding of like the creator space than I had before. And your girl like spent so much of this year doom scrolling. I'm not kidding. And if I could think like pile up all the hours I'd probably spent doom scrolling that I could have been spending, I don't know, like having a conversation with my boyfriend or reading a book or going on a walk or like calling my parents or having lunch with my sibling, it'd be a lot. And I don't know, there's not some like big, massive underlying message here, but I guess it's just a reminder that your phone truly does take away from your real life, but it also can bring you a lot of joy and happiness and fun. So like go on your phone, enjoy it, but setting boundaries with your phone is so important. And it's something I'm honestly still working on. And setting little screen time reminders has helped me a lot because I will at night like take a little gummy and like I can't stop scrolling. And recently I've been putting like harsh boundaries of like, okay, if I get in bed at 9:30, I have till 10 and my little buzzer thing goes off and I'm done. But before that, I would get in bed at 9:30 and scroll till like 11, and it was really bad. So at 26, I don't want so many hours of my precious life to be taken away by doom scrolling, but I definitely still go and scroll. Just not overly excessively. Invest in good food for your pets. I did this at 25. I feel like I wasn't feeding my cats I always have fed them good food, but I hadn't really done research into like what's actually really good for them, what treats are good for them, what treats aren't good for them. And I did that this last year, and I really looked into like what are the treats that like actually cause a lot of like health issues, how can I put more hydration into their diet and stuff like that. So I've invested a lot more into my pets' food, which I think this is something that you should do for dogs, cats, whatever pet you have if you can. And so one of the like, I mean, I still feed them the same like wet food that I always have, but now I add in like chicken broth for hydration and some like freeze-dried meal toppers that are supposed to be good for them. And I'm trying not to, well, no, I threw out all of the treats that apparently are like not good for them at all and like can cause all these issues. And I bought some treats that are supposed to be like all natural, good for them, not like causing gum disease and all this shit. So I don't know. That's something I learned at 25. Invest in good food for your pets. Another thing I did at 25 that I never did up until probably around the last year. Honestly, Rafa really got me onto this. So yeah, it's been like the last year and a half, is hydrating and like specifically drinking electrolytes. And you're probably like, Taryn, why the fuck is one of your lessons that you learned about hydrating? Like, bitch, we know that you should be hydrated. But I never used to like care about my hydration, especially in college. I swear to God, in college, like I never had a sip of water. Like I can't remember like caring about my hydration or carrying around a water bottle. The bitches in college these days, they have full-blown skincare routines. They're not using those Neutrogena face wipes. They're hydrating. They're drinking like fucking Water Boy. Like, could not be me in college. I remember Liquid IV came out in college and I was like, oh my God, what is this? But like, it was really expensive, so I never bought it. Like, the best I got in college maybe when I was hungover was like the nipple lid blue Gatorade. And I honestly don't even think that hydrates you. It's just like a bunch of sugar. But the last year, I have tried to be way better about hydration. You can probably see my massive Stanley back there, but not just water, specifically electrolytes. I try to drink electrolytes every day. It's changed my life. It has actually changed my life. It's like one of those health things, one of those little powder sticks that like you see people promoting that actually does have such an impact on your health. It has changed the way I sleep, the way I feel, my energy levels, my skin, how I feel when I'm working out, how I recover from working out. Like, electrolytes are the shit. When I'm not feeling good, they make me feel better. When I'm like, I don't know, I love electrolytes, and I will drink electrolytes every single day until I die, virtually. I mean, I try not to drink too many. I try to have like a good balance because you can do too much sodium in electrolytes, obviously. But in general, at 25, I'm like, bitch, give me my electrolytes. There's a handful of brands I love. I like Water Boy. I like Element. I like Drip Drop. Guys, hydrate and drink electrolytes, okay? Don't fall for every new supplement brand. Yeah, I feel like I used to be really susceptible to falling for like health fads and supplements. Like, your girl bought the fucking flat tummy tea. That takes us all the way back to high school. I bought the flat tummy tea and all it does is make you have explosive diarrhea. Then of course I fell for the Bloom phase. Like, oh my God, when Bloom first came out, I was obsessed. I thought it was like amazing. But then like I took a step back after a few months of taking it and I was like, I don't think this has done anything for me. Like, it's not, what is that? Like, this is pointless. And in the last year, I've just been like, I feel like I've figured out what works for me health-wise and what supplements I want to take. Like, probiotic, yes, okay. I do some like de-bloat and some sleep stuff and like magnesium and shit like that. But I think I've been a lot less susceptible to like every new health thing that you need to buy, like the fucking powder for cortisol face. Like, that is actual bullshit. And it pisses me off when people like use "you're not ugly, you just have cortisol face" on like TikTok and stuff, because like people actually get cortisol face from health problems, but then like trying to market to a bunch of people that like, "you're not ugly, you just have cortisol face." Like, what is wrong with you? Okay. There's actually people that struggle with that. And I think just like telling people that they're not ugly, they have cortisol face, so buy this powder and your face will get skinny. Like, that's the type of shit where I'm just like, no. And just in general, if I'm going to try a new like health product or supplement, I actually look into it first and like see if it's actually something that's worth my while, rather than like, this de-bloats you, and then like just buy it and it doesn't do shit. Next is that ClassPass is worth it. I think ClassPass is so worth it. I've gotten asked this before, like, should I get ClassPass? Do you like it? I love ClassPass. I've used ClassPass the whole last year. I've had a membership. I do so many different workout classes on it. I go to Y7, YTX, I go to Barry's, I go to Studio 3. You can even book like nails and lash lifts and hair stuff through ClassPass. I don't really do that as much, but I think ClassPass is so worth it. It lets you try different studios, and paying for the membership kind of forces me to get my ass to a workout class. I say that as I told you guys just a few moments ago that I haven't been to a workout class in a month. But prior to this month, I was going very regularly, and I'm starting to go regularly again. But I would do the ClassPass trial if you haven't done it. Trust me, it is worth it. And it's a great way because if I like just join one gym, like I used to be a member at Equinox, like at first I loved it, but then I got very bored with just like how repetitive it was, same people, same classes, and I fell off. Whereas ClassPass, I can constantly change up my routine so much that if I want to do yoga one week, I can do that. If I want to do Pilates one week, I can do that. That it's just something that I can actually kind of stick to because I just cannot do the same fucking thing every day. Okay, next one is kind of, I don't know how many people agree with this one, but because I feel like most people that I hear around my age are like, if they're gonna drink, they drink to get drunk. Like they're not really necessarily interested in like drinking to enjoy it. Like if I'm gonna start drinking, I'm gonna get wasted. I feel like as I've matured, I'm the opposite. I mean, occasionally I will get drunk. Like at my best friend's wedding, I'm gonna get wasted. You know, there's definitely some nights where I'm like, okay, it's worth it. I want to get drunk tonight. But most of the time I prefer to drink. I like to drink to enjoy. Like I actually do enjoy the taste of alcohol. Like I love to sip an Aperol Spritz. I love to sip wine. I even like to just like sip plain tequila. But I used to always drink, with the intention of like having 7-8 drinks and getting wasted. But recently I've been in a place where like I can have 2, maybe 3 drinks and just like cut myself. And I was like, okay, I enjoyed those 3 drinks. I got a little tipsy, but like I'm good now. Did not used to be like that. Like if I was going to start drinking, I was going to go out. Like it wasn't worth it to me to consume the calories if I wasn't going to get drunk. But recently I've just been like, I enjoy this. Like I enjoy really good margarita and I'm just going to enjoy it. And I can maybe have 2, but then I can be done. So that's a balance I'm really happy to have because I don't know if I'll ever be completely sober and like not drink. But I do like that I've gotten to a place where I can just like drink, enjoy it, but not overdo it because I did not used to be like that. Like I used to definitely overdo it. So yeah, that's something I learned at 25 and I'm looking forward to continuing to drink to enjoy, but having those nights for sure where I definitely like go all out, which is going to be this weekend at the wedding. I'm actually so excited. Okay. Another thing I learned at 25 is trying a bunch of things and failing at them. I think doing a bunch of things and a bunch of random shit is better than doing nothing. And there's been a handful of things I've tried this year that I've fully been like, okay, I actually failed at that. This last year, I feel like I've really pushed myself to try things that are very out of my comfort zone. The first one being like I said on the first few episodes of this podcast, when I first started this, it was so hard for me for whatever dumb reason. It was just like so hard for me to like figure out how to speak properly into a microphone with a camera staring at me. And I just like would overthink everything. Every single time I was editing the videos, I was like, I hate this. I sound weird. This is stupid. And it was a huge struggle for me when I first started it. It took me 6 months to release the podcast because I was just overthinking it so hard, feeling like I failed. And a lot of the time when I'd record episodes, I'd be like, this is a failure. You need to re-record it. Or even just like as silly as things as like trying different things with my personal style and being like, this is fucking ugly, and like seeing a picture and being like, oh my God, I looked horrible. What was I doing? But like something as silly as an outfit or something as big as putting myself out there and doing a podcast, things like that are better than doing nothing. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to look back on different things that I've tried this year and be mad that I did them. I'm very grateful that I did them because I either learned from them or they turned into something really good for me, like this podcast. It's been a really good learning experience for me, and I've had a lot of fun with it so far, even though it still kind of is only the beginning. But something I learned at 25 truly is just like try a bunch of things. If you have a hunch to do something, do it, whether it's as simple as like a new type of makeup that you want to experiment with or a new haircut, or if it's as big as like taking a big leap to leave your corporate job and pursue something, whether that's doing something independently or starting a business or content creation or whatever that might be. That was definitely a big leap that I was like, this could fail so hard and I could be fucked, but I'm going to try to do it. And I'm very grateful that I did. And I've learned a lot of lessons along the way. Next is that people are not thinking about you nearly as much as you think they are. Towards the beginning of this year, I swore that I thought everybody was like thinking about me so deeply. And like if I would post something, or people that I knew from high school or college, like I just thought that people were thinking about me, and they weren't, bitch. I had to realize like I really don't matter that much, you know what I mean? And people aren't thinking about me, because what made me realize this is that I'm not thinking about other people. I mean, sure, maybe a little bit I'll see a video and think about them for 2 seconds, but like people aren't just like living rent free in my head, like random people from high school or college, or whether it's like a colleague or a friend. I mean, my friends do live in my head, but like a colleague or a random person, like I'm not sitting there and dwelling on them. And something I learned this year is that like, I know people aren't fucking thinking about me as much as I think they are. But I was so convinced for so long that like people were just like thinking about me, and it's like, girl, you're not that important. No one's thinking about you. Like, okay, so that's something that's brought me a lot of peace, because I used to wake up, especially after nights out, and be like, oh my God, everybody hates me. Like everyone's had that feeling of waking up after a night out and being like, everyone fucking hates me and I'm a piece of shit. And I was so embarrassing. Or even not on a night out, like even just like some social interactions, I would come home and be like, everyone thinks I'm so embarrassing. They really don't. They really don't give a fuck. Because like I think about myself and I don't give a fuck about a lot of the people that, like I'm not sitting there and thinking about what they said or did. So I highly doubt the other people are sitting there and thinking about what I said or did. So that brings me peace at 26 years old. The next one is double cleansing. We've seen this on TikTok, okay? Double cleansing, you got to double cleanse. And I posted a skincare routine months ago where I washed my face and then I used micellar water and went about my skincare routine. And somebody commented like, wait, you're supposed to wash the micellar water off. So you're supposed to cleanse, use micellar water, and then cleanse again, double cleanse. And I started doing that. Wow, my skin glows better. It feels cleaner. My pores aren't as clogged. My skin just looks so much better. I haven't been getting as much acne, although I have been getting some stress acne, but that's not related. But double cleansing. I at first was like, these bitches are telling me I have to wash my face not once, but twice. Like in college, I'm telling you, I was just using a Neutrogena makeup wipe, leaving probably 80% of the makeup still on my face and calling it good. And somehow I still like looked good in college to an extent. Now I have to double cleanse? Like, are you fucking kidding me? But then I actually started double cleansing and my skin's looked a million times better. So if you're thinking about double cleansing, do it. I like to use oil to gel cleansers. I just find they work really well with my skin. I have very dry skin, so typically more oil-based products work really well for me, but the skincare girlies weren't lying about the double cleansing. Okay, next is that if it's a priority, you'll do it, and if it's not, you'll make an excuse. I mean, this is something I learned at 25, but is it something I still apply to my life every day? Like, yes and no. But I'm a girl that I tend to make excuses for things. And I've taken a step back and realized, okay, the things I always do get done are obviously things that I prioritize. But a lot of the things I should be prioritizing, I'm like finding external factors to blame for not getting them done. But really, it's just my own fault. Like I'm just making excuses, right? So I guess an example I can think of off the top of my head is like my car has had 17 different lights on yelling at me that like my coolant levels, my windshield wipers, like there's every issue with it. And it's been that way for weeks. I've needed new tires for months. And I've just been like, well, I don't have time. Well, I don't know when I'll be able to take it. Like, no, I can make the time. You can make the time. If I can make the time to sit down and make videos or record a podcast or edit that, I can make the time to take my damn car to the shop, but I make excuses for it. Or similar to like taking care of my health. Like I haven't been to the dentist in a while. I have not gone to the doctor in a while. And I like just put it off and like make an excuse like, oh, it'll be fine. I just put it off another month. It's not fine. You need to go to the doctor, okay? If you're putting off making a dentist appointment, do it. I actually just did it this morning because I was like, you need to stop making excuses for this shit and just do it. The same comes in my work life. Like with the kind of freelancing work that I do all the time, I'll be like, oh my God, I'm way too stressed and busy today with these other things. I can't make time for it today. And I'll blame it on having other things that I need to do, but really it's just my fault that I didn't prioritize my time. And I end up just stressed and overwhelmed and I'm not prioritizing it. So something I've learned and something I'm still continuing to try to apply to my life, but I'm not 100% good at it yet, is like, yeah, if it's a priority, I do it. And if it's not, I always make an excuse. And I need to stop making excuses. I love to make excuses for the hard things, like for the things that require my attention span. They require me sitting down and focusing for hours on end. They require me being uncomfortable. Those are the things I make excuses for. Like, yeah, I have to go sit in the Volkswagen dealership today for probably 4 hours. Not the thing I want to do, but bitch, first off, I should be grateful just for the fact that I have a car in general. So I really shouldn't be complaining about having to go get my car serviced. But I've just been making excuses for it. And I'm going today, actually. So I'm proud of myself because I not only made the doctor's appointments today, but I also am going to the Volkswagen dealership and I'm getting my car serviced. It just sucks when you have to spend money on shit like getting your car serviced and getting your teeth cleaned and like, ugh, you know what I mean? Like there's no reward there. Actually, having good teeth is definitely a reward. And I guess having a car that works is also a reward. But yeah, I do be making excuses for shit. Okay, do I have any other ones? I feel like I have so many other ones, but those are all the ones I wrote down. What are some other ones I can think of off the top of my head? I feel like kind of trying to unlearn the whole girl boss mentality thing is one. Like, I feel like when I first entered the workforce post-college, like I read the like girl boss book and I was just like, oh my God, girl boss at this, girl boss at that. And then recently I've been like, this is not chill. Like it is also important to take a step back and enjoy your life and not everything be about work and grinding and getting to the top and money. And recently I've just been like trying to not have that mentality about work, but I can't like sit here and be like, I completely learned that at 25, because there's days where I'm just really stressed and worried and I don't think I've completely unlearned it yet. Like, I don't know, once you learn that girl boss shit, it's hard to undo it, but I'm trying to undo it because you know what I mean? Like you see someone who like doesn't let their work-life balance, like someone who actually has really good work-life balance and you're like, fuck, I'm so jealous. And I don't be the best with that. Truly. One thing about this podcast is I can't sit here and be like, I have all the life advice to give you. And I've learned so many amazing lessons and you know what I mean? Like there's so many podcasts that like actually provide such good life advice. Like I'm still figuring it out, to be honest. And I'm the one that be listening to a lot of those podcasts so I can get some advice for real. But I do like sharing what I can. Cowboy, come here. Hi, baby. I missed you. Cowboy got his teeth cleaned last week. We go to Modern Animal off of South Lamar. It's a vet clinic in Austin. I've been going there for 2 years now. We love them. If you need a vet, check them out. They're great. He had to go under anesthesia for his teeth cleaning because cats can't have their teeth cleaned without being put under, apparently. Which honestly makes sense because like imagine trying to brush a cat's teeth. Like it would be so hard. And he was so loopy. When he came back, it was so cute. His little tongue was out. He has this cute little shaved arm. And I just cuddled him all day because he was so needy. Like, oh my God, I felt just like a mother taking care of her baby. I loved it so much. Wait, I just thought of another lesson. And actually, come to think of it, this is something I thought about in yoga today and I meant to write it down and I didn't. But it's that like you and your friends and your close relationships don't need to all be in the same stage of life at once. I feel like there's this pressure, like when you have a friend, or let's say you have multiple friends that are all engaged or talking about engagement or getting married, and like you think you also need to be in that stage of life. I have totally like had moments this year where I have a lot of friends who are married randomly, even though I'm only 25, friends that are engaged, whatever. And there's been moments this year where I'm like, oh my God, should I like be thinking about that? Should that be something that's a priority to me? And if it's not, it's not. And for me, it's just not. I think I talked about this in another episode. Like, obviously someday I want to be married and I want to have kids. But like, it's just not a priority for me. It never really was. And it was never something where I was like, I want to be married at 25 and engaged and get married by this and have kids at this. Like, I think I said this, but my mom had me very late, like in her early 40s. And my mom always told me, like, get married when you want to. Like, there's no rush. Just like do it when you want. And if you don't want to do it, that's also fine. And I've just never had that pressure to like get engaged and get married and do the thing. But I am surrounded by a lot of people who are married or engaged. And I've had moments where I'm like, oh my God, fuck, like, am I behind? But just remember, something I learned is that you're not behind. Live in the moment. If you enjoy where you're at in life, soak that all up. And right now, I love dating my boyfriend. I love him being my boyfriend. I love enjoying this stage of life of a dating couple and being boyfriend and girlfriend. And if it turns into an engagement, then that's great. But like, I'm in no rush for it. And it can be so hard when other people are doing it and you feel like you need to do it too. But everyone is at their own pace in life. And whether you wait 5 years or 3 years, it doesn't fucking matter, okay? And don't let your friends convince you otherwise. And I think it's really fucking annoying when friends and people in your life are like, when are you getting engaged? When are you getting engaged? Like, literally shut up, okay? Like, that's nobody's business but yours. And I think it's so annoying when people put that pressure on you. Like, it's fine to be like, oh, when do you think you'll get engaged? But like, when people pester you about it, literally shut up. I don't know. It's just like, I'm in no rush, okay? I'm only 25 years old, guys. Another life lesson that I learned is you have so much time. Wait, I'm only 26, I guess. But you have so much time, okay? You're not running out of time just because now I'm no longer in my early 20s. I'm in my mid-20s. But I think that my 30s will probably be some of the best years of my life. And I still have so much time. Like, you know what I mean? You have plenty of time to do the things that you want to do. You have plenty of time to get married. Even if you are dating someone and you break up when you're 29, like, you still have time, okay? And don't feel shitty when you know someone who's like 24 and married and you're like, oh my God, I wish that was me. Because trust me, it's probably for the best that it's not you. I don't know. So yeah, that's something that I've thought about a lot this year as I've seen more people take that step in life. And I'm like, okay, I'm so happy for you, Slay. I literally love this. I can't wait to go to your wedding. But if that's not something that I want right now, that's okay. And it isn't something that I want right now, but maybe someday. But right now I'm like, I just moved in with my boyfriend. I want to live this little life that we have together as boyfriend and girlfriend and see how it goes and have fun. And if it goes well, then shit, maybe someday, but I don't know. Also, guys, if I ever get married, I would love a small, intimate wedding, ideally a destination. I would want it very small, only like my closest friends, closest family, and that's it. So yeah, that's what I want. I want small, little, small, because I just get really overwhelmed with like a lot of people. And yeah, I don't want to be saying hi to like my third cousin on my wedding day. Like, I don't want to do that shit. So I would want it to be very intimate, and that would be more affordable, right? Okay, that is all for today, guys. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Tearing It Up. I think this is episode 10. We've hit 10 episodes. I had some issues uploading episode 9 last week to Spotify. It uploaded to YouTube, but it would not upload to Spotify. I've tried uploading it like 5 or 6 times now, and I still don't think it's properly uploaded. Need to go check on that again and see if I can get it up, because the fucking Spotify for podcasters hates me and it won't upload. I don't know why. Gonna try again though, so that one can get up. And yeah, if you support me and support this podcast, I love you. It means the world to me. And that's it for today. I'll see you guys soon. And if you liked this, give it a rate or a follow or a download or whatnot. And that's a forehead kiss for you. And I just keep going on with my outros. And shut up. Okay. Goodbye.